Hydrate podcast, or we're doing the thing where we put it on the spoon so we can.
I feel like it's better. Yeah.
Wow.
I look rough. I don't mind showing.
It's been a crazy week, to say the least.
Wait, we should cheers these in
As
front of
I
the
hold-
camera
oh,
first
yes,
for the Hydrate podcast.
for the Hydrate podcast, or
Ginger
is it
ale.
off topic or is it hydrate?
I think we're gonna name it off topic, but we can still have
We
a
can
drink.
still have a drink, and also it's currently called Hydrate, which is a good name, honestly.
Hydrate.
But off topic is better.
Hydrate with our
considering-
funniness.
Yeah, considering we are a podcast. Because I feel like hydrate, that can be for so many different things. If you're looking up hydrate, you're probably going to think of you're probably going to see some gym bros or something. But if you look up off topic, it's like, oh, off topic. Like, it's a little, like, play on words. Because we do get off topic.
Sorry, my
but
bad.
basically, did we already cheers this?
Mhm.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Good morning.
Let's get the ice cream.
Good evening. Yeah, I was just about to say that. It's taking up a lot of space for some reason. The circumference of it is a little bit odd.
We should say what we're doing today. Put this on this side so that you can be like there.
Yeah, so today we are you wanna see what we're doing today?
Sneezing.
Bless you.
Thanks. Wait, what's that other thing we were talking about that people say?
Clock it.
Clock it.
Clock it.
Clock it.
Look at my tat.
My outfit is
Chat.
so uncoordinated right now.
So tough. So tough. I turned 18 the other day and I actually got this.
There we go. Mine has like chocolate milk.
Are we twinning right now? Is that the same one?
Wait, no.
Oh. Basically, what we're doing today is we are reading some stories.
The
Reddit stories.
AITA.
AITA. Am I the a-hole? And we're gonna give our opinions
They're on
and
my phone, so I
feedback.
probably gotta open that up.
And it'll be fun, you know. It's gonna be a good time.
Oh
we
wait,
actually
before,
have a
before we
topic.
start, let's talk about this TikTok ban real quick.
Oh
No?
yeah, let's talk about that because.
So, we just deleted it.
And you know how
I
much
did too.
storage I just got on my phone, bruh. It's life changing, honestly. I'm a little bit upset though because I thought it was getting banned at 12.
I know,
But they took it out at like 10:30. I'm like watching
what?
TikToks and it's not refreshing. I'm like, what's wrong with my phone? I literally like did the most. I even reset my TikTok, restarted my phone. I'm like, what's happening? And all of a sudden I get a notification talking about, oh, TikTok is temporarily banned.
Right when I pressed on it, it said, yeah, TikTok doesn't work anymore. You can either close the app or learn more. But if you press learn more, it brings you to a website where it also says TikTok isn't working, so you can't learn more. We never decided. I mean, we have 6 if we want to just read all 6. The first one is AITA for telling my dad his grief doesn't get to dictate the name my wife and I choose for our children. So this is a male.
Yeah, I imagine, yeah. Unless it's a lesbian relationship. Which we support fully, by the way.
No, it says
Anyways.
it's a male. You don't need to get canceled.
Yeah. It's too early into 2025. For
Okay,
that.
ready?
Yes.
We'll stop after okay, wait, never mind. My dad and I, he's a 28 male, have a complicated relationship. He was divorced from my mom when I was only a baby, and she died when I was very young. He was 5 years old. He was already remarried and had another child when my mom passed away. And I think he expected with time that I would forget about my mom entirely and assimilate into his new family like they were the only one. There was also a big effort to ignore my grief and expect me to move on like nothing happened. The only time this was ever truly mentioned was when I was 13 and he sat me down and asked me to ask his wife if she'd adopt me. Okay. He told me she wanted to adopt me, but didn't want me to get angry at her for asking because I still had a photo of my mom in my bathroom and I talked about her still. Who wouldn't talk about their mom, like, if that's happening?
It's a weird situation.
Like, if your mom dies, you're not gonna just forget her. What? I'm so confused. During that little talk, he made a point of saying that his wife had raised me far longer and had done everything a real mother should. So it was time for me to acknowledge her in that role and position in my life and make it official. When I said no, he threw a little tantrum, stomping his foot and pouting before he left the room, and he never mentioned it again. But that strain could be felt.
Okay, wait.
Okay,
so
it's not done, but like.
So let me just clarify what's going on here because I don't know if I have the full picture. So basically, this dude, his mom died right when he was when he was young, and his dad got into another marriage.
Yep.
And the mom stepped up and was like, "I'll be your mom too."
Yeah.
But the kid is like,
No.
my mom is like, it's still recent. Well, actually no, it's not recent.
No.
But still,
it's 8 years after.
But still, it's like 8 years after. It's still pretty fresh. Your mom dying.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like obviously there needs to be some sort of like respect there, some sort of boundary, especially being the father in that situation.
I'm
like,
just surprised.
Your wife just died, bro.
I know, and like also the fact that the dad had a tantrum.
So here's where I'm a little confused.
Mm-hmm.
Something about the mom being in the bathroom or something. What was it?
The son had a picture of his mom in the bathroom, and he was always talking about her. So that's why the dad was like, "Oh, you need to understand that your stepmom is now your actual mom."
I feel like 8 years after, because this is 8 years.
Like
after
there should be
mom
no
died.
problem with having a picture in the bathroom.
Yeah, a picture in the bathroom. I can see how. Well, I mean, you don't get all the information. You don't know how much the dude talks about the mom.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like in every single conversation you have,
yeah,
you're like,
it doesn't
blah, blah.
sound like it's in every conversation. It says, angry at her, but didn't want me to get angry at her for asking because I still had a photo of my mom in the bathroom and I talked about her still. Like talked about her. It wasn't. It's not like talked about her constantly. It's talked about her still.
Talked about her. Yeah, that's
okay.
Valid. I feel like that's something that you do anyways.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
His wife died 3.5 years ago, so 3.5 years ago.
Wait. His wife, aka his mom, like the mom, or the wife that they were having complications.
His wife died. Yeah, I think it's the stepmom.
Okay.
His wife died 3.5 years ago. I was engaged to my wife at the time, and we were planning our wedding. 6 months after her death, Dad asked how I could move forward with the wedding planning. I told him I still wanted to get married. He said he couldn't understand it, and he thought the wedding would be delayed for years. I told him that wasn't happening. He never said anything about it again, but I now know he held it all in. And now it has come to the surface again. My wife is pregnant with our first child, our daughter, and we have agreed to name her after my mom. My wife wanted a nature name, and my mom had a nature name. What's a nature name?
I don't know, like Pearl or something. Or like Evergreen. Do people name their children Evergreen? Acadia. June. Autumn.
Oh, is that a nature name?
Water.
Okay. Water. Fire. Air.
Earth. Lily. Miguel. Okay. So here's what I have to say about this, because that kind of is like a little bit off-putting.
Oh wait, and then it says so it would work perfectly for us.
Because this sounds like a lot of hypocrisy going on with on the father's side. He's talking about, oh, you're supposed to postpone your wedding because my wife died, and you shouldn't follow through with your dreams and your life because of this situation that happened to me.
Yeah.
But let's talk about earlier when you was on my case for caring about your wife who died.
Yeah, it's like he loved the stepmom more than he loved the actual mom.
Exactly, and you have to realize, being a child who was old enough to understand that what death is, because he was like 5 years old, right?
He's 5 years old. Yeah.
5 years old, your mom dies. You have a connection with her. That's 5 years.
When you're 5 years old, you know that your mom died. Like, you know what happened.
Yeah, and for the dad to be like, you need to move on, is just very concerning. as a father, how are you gonna even do that? He probably got some internal issues going on, especially like he probably hasn't even fully moved on from, or maybe he moved on too quick.
Maybe he moved on too quick,
or maybe he feels
didn't even
guiltier about it
process
or something. Yeah,
He was just like so sad that he decided to date another woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rough life for that dude, honestly. Yeah, 2 wives and both of them died.
I know, that's crazy.
His luck is not on his side.
Ready?
Yeah.
We haven't announced this yet.
Wait.
The nature name.
So yeah, and also another thing, I don't know, has it said yet that they were upset? The father was upset about him naming naming the child after the.
Not yet.
I bet you he's gonna be upset. Coming. He's gonna be upset, and I have something to say about.
I mean, the title kind of, yeah. Okay, we haven't announced it yet. During a family dinner with my side one of my sibling. With my side. During a family dinner with my side one. One of my Okay, let's
with my
one
side
of my,
one.
With my side one of my siblings asked if
with my side.
It says with my side one of my siblings, no comma or anything. It's just okay. Anyway.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, it's okay.
Let's ignore that. With my side, one of my siblings asked if we had a name yet. I said maybe. We weren't saying for sure until she was here. My dad said we all know the baby will be named after his late wife, and there's no point in hiding it. I told him he didn't know that at all. He lost his temper and told me if I had any respect for our family, that's what I'd exactly what I'll do.
This dude's a narcissist, bro.
He told me he's grieving. My siblings are grieving, and I should take that into consideration. I told him that he has nothing to do with what I name my child. He wanted to talk one-on-one, and I agreed to do so. He told me if I'm hiding the name like that, then I must be naming my daughter after someone else, like that woman. And how I was inconsiderate.
Oh, he said that woman?
That woman. And how I was inconsiderate to consider such a thing when his wife had raised me and his wife had died in the last 4 years. He told me a good son would take this into consideration and honor the woman his father loved, the woman who raised him at her very own. I told him his grief did not get to dictate the name of my wife and I choose for my child.
Wow. Okay.
Wait. I told him my grief didn't seem to matter when I was 5. So why was I supposed to put his adult grief first now? I told him there was going to be no more talking about baby names because it was none of his business. He has since accused me of invalidating his grief and being insensitive to it. Am I the a-hole? No.
I'm gonna have to say no on that one. Maybe under different circumstances, there is a universe where you are, but only if the father is an actual decent human being. There's so much to unpack with that.
Nothing. I don't think. No.
I think his lack of respect for his deceased wife.
Yeah, he said for the woman I loved. You didn't love your first wife.
What about the first woman?
What?
Did it talk?
He was divorced before she died.
Okay, that's something that I didn't pick up on. They were divorced.
That's true, but it's still
he didn't really regard her.
That's true.
Even still, you have to respect.
But even still, it's someone that you did have a relationship with, so you gotta care at some point, you know?
Also, he is always talking about you did this.
You did this.
You need to do this.
Blame.
Yeah, he doesn't take any responsibility for anything.
Yeah, that's just so crazy. I just need a second to just process that, because how are you gonna be don't name him after that woman? That's so freaking.
That woman was insane.
That's disrespectful. That's freaking. Yeah, narcissistic.
That's crazy.
That's what's the word? Demoralizing or something. I forgot what it's called.
Demoralizing?
Deworthing. Just
okay.
That's disregarding worth and disregarding human life.
That was such a irritating story too.
And here's the thing: for him to have the audacity to say that you need to do this with your child. That's
it's
so
like that's
crazy
not
to me.
your child. You don't get to say what I'm gonna name.
Yeah, it's like, were you the one who married the you weren't the one who fell in love with a person and, did the things to make a baby, so you have no say in it. Like, you've been through this before. You should know better, man.
Yeah.
And so much talking coming from you when you failed in a marriage.
It's true. Okay, but seriously, I need to search up the definition of a nature name.
Yeah, nature name. Like, what is that? I'm curious to know what the mother's name was.
Yeah, but I don't think they want to disclose that.
Yeah, no, that's just really crazy
Wow,
to
so the
me.
nature. Oh, okay.
Good on that dude for putting his foot down and, you know, he sees that he saw that there was no progress being made in the argument.
I searched up examples of it, and it's like
it.
names of places, plants, and other natural elements. Wind,
Canyon.
canyon,
That's a
grove,
cute name.
harbor. I would not want to name my
that's
kid
some weird
harbor.
names. Maybe
Delilah.
Maybe, like, what if the mom's name was some weird name like Harbor? In that case, it might be different.
Azalea.
Azalea.
Basil. Yeah, something like
Basil.
that. Basil. Clover. Delilah. Dahlia or Delilah. I don't know what it is. Juniper. Lavender, Luna, Reed, Clay, Star, Storm, Stormy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stormy.
Cute names. But in summary, I'm gonna have to say not the a-hole.
No, you are not the a-hole.
You are not the a-hole.
Okay.
Your father has a lot of internal issues, and I'm sorry that you have such family.
I know. I'm sorry
tension.
for you.
Yeah, good story, man. Jeez, look at us. Look at us, man. Making changes, doing things, being interesting, being entertaining.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, bet. Next one. Am I the a-hole for wanting to call off my wedding because my fiance's stepmother keeps insisting we're siblings? Okay.
Already in my head, I'm saying no, but
I just feel like a lot is going on in this sentence right here. Okay. So I, 23 female, am engaged to my fiance, Daniel, 24 male. He's the son of a very wealthy businessman, and to be honest, I come from a much more humble background. We met a few years ago at a mutual friend's party and hit it off immediately. We have a ton in common, same sense of humor, similar values. We're both super family oriented, and we have the same weird taste in music. I would say, yo, if you got the same taste in music as somebody, bro.
Yeah.
We even share similar quirks and habits that make us seem like we've known each other forever. Basically, we just click.
Okay. Like a couple should do.
Yeah. Here's where the problem starts. Daniel's father remarried a few years ago to a woman named Valerie. She's in her mid-40s and, well, let's just say she's not the nicest person. She's always been kind of cold to me, but I didn't think much of it. A little passive-aggressive here and there, but nothing crazy. It's interesting how it's always coming from, like, broken marriages is where a lot of these problems
all
come
these
from.
Parents are coming from.
However, over the last few months, things have started getting out of hand. Valerie started making these strange comments, usually when we're alone or in private settings. She has started implying that Daniel and I are too close for fiancés.
What? How can you be too close?
So, what? Okay.
What in the right mind?
What are you looking for in a relationship? I'm curious what she wants in a relationship.
Like, does she want to hate the person?
I mean, she's mid-40s. I feel like that's recent enough to, I don't know.
But like,
times have not changed that much.
You can't have nothing in common and have a relationship with someone. Well, like not in that way, but it's like you have to make it work, and it's not gonna work if you guys don't have like same values. Or something.
Now I'm wondering how her marriage is with the dad. If you're not close, I don't know.
Yeah.
The first time she said it, I laughed it off, thinking it was some weird joke. Yeah. But then it kept happening. She started pushing the idea that Daniel and I are not just fiance and fiancé. Fiance and fiance. I don't.
Wait, let me
What's
see.
it? There's two E's. There's one E on one and two E's on the other.
Yeah, fiance and fiancé.
Okay. I've never heard that terminology before.
Me either,
But rather brother and sister. Okay, hold on. Let me just. Okay. No. She started pushing the idea that Daniel and I are not just fiance and fiancé, but rather brother and sister in some kind of spiritual or emotional sense.
like being spiritually siblings is crazy.
What? How does that even? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No, we're spiritually siblings.
Yeah. That's okay. She kept saying things like, "It's just like the way real siblings can talk for hours about nothing," or "You two look so much alike. I'm surprised you haven't figured out you're actually related."
They aren't actually related.
But they're not actually related, unless maybe
they are,
further
then
in the
that's
story
a
we'll
different
figure this
story.
out. I thought she was just being bizarre, but it kept escalating. At one point, she showed up at one of our family gatherings with this family tree thing that supposedly proves Daniel and I could be distant cousins. The family laughed it off, but the whole thing left me feeling unsettled, as you should be. That's really weird and creepy. Why does she care so much about the relationship?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't like that.
I'm not sure why she's so obsessed with this narrative, but she even started calling us the twins in front of other people, which made me feel super uncomfortable. And keep in mind, this is the stepmom.
I'd be so like uncomfortable if I was being called twins with my fiance.
Yeah. I've talked to Daniel about it a few times, and he says I'm overthinking it. That Valerie is just trying to get under my skin. But at this point, I'm not so sure. I feel like Valerie is intentionally trying to paint us as siblings to make me feel uncomfortable and to undermine our relationship. And it's really starting to mess up with my head. We're supposed to get married in a few months, but now I'm seriously considering calling it off. I don't know if I can marry into a family that has this weird toxic dynamic. I don't want to feel like a part of this twisted narrative that's being forced on us. Daniel says I'm letting Valerie win by even thinking about this, but it's messing with my head so much that I don't know if I can go through with it. Okay, thoughts?
So far, this girl does not seem like an a-hole.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I can understand calling off a wedding.
I know, but I'd be so uncomfortable if I was being like called siblings.
Yeah, it's a stressful, weird situation. I feel like calling off a wedding could be a little excessive just because it's if you have a good relationship with the whole family and it's just one that's
it's
causing
like you just
issues.
Can't let her get on your nerves.
Yeah.
Unless it gets to like a point.
But here's another thing that is a little concerning is the fact how the fiance Daniel is supposedly not really, he's kind of overlooking the whole thing and just kind of making the girl feel like she's going a little crazy or just like overthinking it, which is concerning, meaning that he is not hearing her out, which also is another factor to support calling off a wedding. There's a lot of factors that contribute to it.
I don't think the wedding should have been called off.
Yeah, I mean she hasn't called it off yet, but she says thinking about calling it off.
But it also in the title it says the answer. Anyway, continue.
Okay, so am I the a-hole for thinking about calling off my wedding because of Valerie's insistence that Daniel and I are siblings, or should I just brush it off like Daniel wants, or is this a sign that something deeper is wrong here? I don't think you're the a-hole, but I think there's better ways to go about it.
But we also haven't read the whole story, so maybe something more severe happens.
Yeah. I do think that probably I know that it did say that she had some conversations with her. But I think if you bring up the whole idea of how this is affecting your relationship with your fiance and you've even thought about calling it off, if you bring that up with her, I mean, obviously that's going to ring some sort of bell and you can go from there instead of just being like, okay, I don't like this, I'm going to call off the wedding. And I mean, obviously that's a little exaggerated, but still, I feel like there's more effort that can be put into it if you are really valuing, you know, the relationship you have with your person.
I wouldn't just call off the wedding.
Yeah. Okay. Edit. Just to clarify, we're definitely not siblings or related in any way, shape, or form.
That's good.
Valerie has no evidence or reason to believe this. It's all just her weird fixation. Also, Daniel and I are both adamant about not being related in any way. We've been to family gatherings and nobody in the family has mentioned this before. But Valerie is definitely the only one who keeps pushing this narrative. So right there it says she's the only one who's doing that. So I feel like calling off a wedding is a little excessive. I mean, maybe not ignore it because obviously she's been doing it for a while.
I tell her that it's wrong, but
yeah, there's better ways to go about it.
But like I wouldn't like necessarily make a big deal and call off a wedding because of it.
Yeah.
Like I just ignore her intentions, if you know what I mean, or like
yeah, no, I get
avoid her intentions.
And also like you can love somebody at a distance, I guess. Like you don't have to, or maybe not love, but you can, tolerate somebody from a distance. You don't have to be in. I mean, you don't have to like go out of your way to talk to her all the time because clearly she has nothing to say about you. And if she keeps talking about you, you can just ignore it, honestly. Mm-hmm. And if it's just one person, if it's just her, and then you ignore it, it's gonna make her look stupid. Like,
yeah,
it's a different story if it's more people like contributing to it and making it bigger than it really needs to be. It's a different story if it's 2 against 1 or something. But since it's just one, oh, I had no idea what you're doing. Since it's just her, it's like I don't know. You could even talk to the husband or the husband to Valerie, because I mean he's your father-in-law. Yeah, there's better ways to go about it than calling off the whole marriage.
Yeah.
Okay, edit. For those who are saying that I should not let this ruin my marriage, something that I forgot to add in this post was that she brings this up constantly in family group chats.
I think we kind of understand that.
Social situations, even in front of the children in this family. Okay, that's
crazy.
Excessive. In front of the children actually believe anything they hear. So I can understand why that is upsetting. In public, when she brings this up, me and my fiance get weird looks, and even the children of the family have been asking me if Daniel and I are actually brother and sister, which to have to explain to a child that is just the family's humor doesn't cut it. I've tried avoiding her, okay, but Daniel's father claims it's me being sensitive and cruel.
What?
But I have actually lost sleep over this. Daniel told me a few days ago to just ignore it, and it's just a funny joke. But when you become the butt of the joke, it's not funny anymore. His MIL, what is that? Mom-in-law? Mother-in-law?
Wait, what is it? Say it again.
MIL.
Oh, yeah.
His mother-in-law has even met my family and questioned them about whether they had any distant family when we were looking at my wedding dresses. Okay, yeah, that's kind of crazy. And to me, that's where it went too far. I love my fiance with every fiber of my being, but he isn't defending me at all when I tell them that bringing up the fact that me and my husband could be an incestuous relationship makes me uncomfortable.
He's not defending it though.
Yeah, and
I don't like the fact that he's not defending.
I think it's kind of funny how we was just saying ignore it, and
then she starts saying, "I know everyone's telling me to ignore it."
But yeah, the fact that it's so constant and is getting in the way of her image of other people,
Sorry, sleep's important.
I mean, yeah, sleep is important.
Yeah, I don't. She's not an a-hole. She just could have handled it better.
Okay, this is good stuff right here. I feel completely alone on this, and I don't want to think about ruining our soon-to-be marriage, but I have considered it. Will I ultimately choose that? No, but I don't know if I want to be with someone who completely undermines my feels for the sake of his MIL, mother-in-law, who ultimately does not have his nor my best interest at heart. I will bring this up again later today or at a later date. I'll keep you all updated.
Can you read the comments?
Yeah. Okay.
Is that
Top
possible?
1% commenter. Whenever she starts talking like this, hold up. Whenever she starts talking like this, really uncomfortable, look away, then loudly say, Valerie, I have asked you repeatedly not to speak about me.
Yeah.
Not to speak about, not to speak to me about your incest fetish. It makes me and everyone else uncomfortable. And quickly walk away while looking behind you to make sure she isn't following you. She will look like a psycho no matter what she says or does after that.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a valid.
I kind of said something
Right.
similar to that. Just like if you ignore her or if you call her out on that in front of everybody,
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna look ridiculous and she's gonna look like a weirdo.
Yeah.
But if you let it get to you every time and you don't stand, yeah. Here's my question: has she stood up for herself any of the times that I know she's talked to Valerie
Yeah.
about it, saying how she doesn't like that. But in these public settings, has she not stood up for herself at all? And also, that's also
think
on the
so.
husband too, on the fiance to do something, which is honestly a bad thing that he is not sticking up for his wife
No.
or soon to be wife. Me personally, if that was going on, I feel like you're almost like required to do that. Like that's
Yeah.
y'all should be a block. It shouldn't be an individual type situation.
In the end, she's not an a-hole, but she could have handled it better.
Okay, here's another one. Sounds like Valerie married a rich man and wants to make sure he doesn't leave any money to his son by breaking up his relationships and causing a rift between father and son.
Oh.
Does your fiance's father hear this? What does he say about his supposed daughter? 22 replies on this one.
Holy crap.
Exactly my first thought. She's protecting her inheritance and jealous as heck of how well they got along. She might be insecure and projecting her issues onto their relationship, trying to sabotage it. Wow, I feel like it gets to a point where you should probably, if you haven't addressed it yet. Well, I mean, she has addressed it.
Yeah.
But it seems like she's not making it as serious as it actually is. So it makes sense why. Let's see. I was thinking she's got the hots for her stepson. Wow.
That's crazy.
Imagine, bro. Probably you never know, cause yeah, she's talking. She's so invested in this relationship. But what was I saying before? If you don't, if you put it on to be something not as serious as it actually is to you, or if you like undermine it a little bit, then other people are not gonna see it as seriously as you see it.
Okay. Yeah.
But either way, it's messed up, and Daniel should not overlook it in any way. But maybe Daniel doesn't know that it's actually such a serious thing to you,
Maybe not.
which is something that you would need to communicate.
That mother-in-law was interesting.
There was another edit on that one, I think.
Another edit?
Yeah, another edit, like update type situation.
Oh, well.
Unless you already got, okay, it's whatever.
This one has an update on it, but it just says, am I the a-hole for despising my mentally handicapped sister? That's kind of crazy.
Can you say that one more time? I don't think
Okay.
I heard that correctly.
Am I the a-hole for despising my mentally handicapped sister? You're despising.
Despising your mentally disabled sister.
Handicapped sister, yeah, disabled.
They had to add handicapped in there as well. As if disabled doesn't mean you're handicapped.
It doesn't say disabled.
So it never said disabled? So what was it? Your handicapped sister?
No, am I the a-hole for despising my mentally handicapped sister?
My mentally handicapped sister. You could have just said disabled. Mentally handicapped makes it seem like it's so much worse than it actually
No, but
is.
it means it's
Or maybe
mentally
actually, I don't know yet.
disabled. You can't get rid of the mentally because that's the...
I mean, if you're disabled, you're also mentally disabled.
No, mental, like, you're...
Mentally disabled. I feel like, honestly...
You could be disabled if you're in amputee. It doesn't mean your mind doesn't work.
That's true.
You don't have an arm.
I mean, if you're mentally disabled... yeah, you know what?
Mentally
That's true.
disabled and disabled.
I feel like,
disabled
honestly,
are different.
off of hearing that just straight up, I'm
I'm
gonna
kind of
say
like,
that
what?
she's not the a-hole.
I feel like there's like a big...
And
story
hear me
behind
out, because something with mentally disabled people or mentally handicapped people is that sometimes there's a social social cues and self-awareness that they don't like. It just doesn't click with them,
Mhm.
and they can do some pretty crazy things.
Yeah.
And I mean, and these humans.
But it
can
depends
do,
on what type of mentally disabled she is.
Yeah, I mean, if
if
she
you're
has like Down
schizophrenic-
syndrome, if she has like Down syndrome or something, like you can't really be mad at that. Like, come on, bro.
If
I
you're
will have to hear the
schizophrenic,
story.
it's not necessarily their fault for doing
Well, I
things.
mean, I feel like if you're mentally disabled, that's never her fault, right?
Yeah.
Can you do something to be mentally disabled?
I mean, you can...
You can get hit in the back of
It's
the
either
head.
you're born with it or you could have some serious... Like, depression is...
Depression
Not-
is a mental
Not
disability.
actually, but, like, it can get to a point. Like, if you're clinically depressed.
You could take certain drugs over and over again. That will
Yeah.
causing you to be mentally.
Maybe that's
That would be
why she
an
despises
There's
her.
many things that can make you mentally disabled.
Yeah, there's many different
Anyway.
scenarios here.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just, and I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I don't think she's the asshole. A-hole, straight up, just like off rip, because I just have to say, like, I feel like I've had interesting experiences with mentally disabled people before. You know what? Let me just never. And I'm not saying that they're. Oh, I'm like painting myself like so bad right now. Bless their souls and their hearts. I just feel like
I feel like you're gonna be bless their souls and their hearts, but
I mean, no, I mean they're
That's
like
what
it's
I thought you were
unfortunate.
gonna
The
say.
situation is always unfortunate, but it gets to a point, you know.
okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready to start the story? Okay. The title makes me sound horrible, but hear me out, is what she said. Okay.
Exactly. You know what?
Okay, let's start the story. My sister is severely autistic. She requires attention almost 24/7 and cannot be left alone. She is nonverbal and cannot take care of herself at all. Despite the fact that she is only 12, she is extremely destructive and violent and destroys anything she gets on her hands on. So don't put things that are really expensive in front of her. Sorry, I just had to say that. Okay. It says, I hate her. That should be wrong to say, but it doesn't feel like it. By the way, at
But
the
it
top
doesn't feel like
at the
it.
top of this page, it says
Bruh.
most people voted not the a-hole.
Okay, well,
So-
you're the a-hole, buddy. Right now, you're the a-hole.
Right
Because
now.
what is that? How are you gonna say that, bruh?
I hate her. Is crazy.
Bruh.
Okay.
Okay.
I was only
there has to be something crazy has to happen for me to support you right now.
I was only 6 years old when she was born, and since then I have never solely had my parents' attention. Oh, that's kind of sad.
Dang.
Even since I-
that's
well,
kinda sad,
Yeah. Even since I can remember, the world has revolved around her. I was moved out of my room into the basement at 7 because She needed to be in the room next to my parents. All of my toys as a child were destroyed by her, and my parents simply ignored me when I complained. Even when I was 14 and she destroyed my Mac at Mac my school gave me, I was in the wrong. See, I feel like there's a little bit of the parents in here. I mean, I get the moving out of the base into the basement thing, because like a basement, it has rooms in it sometimes.
I mean,
but like depends. It depends on what you mean by the basement.
And yeah, it depends what your basement looks like.
Yeah, it depends on what if it's like complete like a stone basement, if you know what I mean. Then I'm like, no.
There's some basements out there that are straight out of a horror movie.
Yeah, and then there's some where it's like, oh, it's nice.
Like, this is just as good as a room.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's many different,
but it really depends. Things. And all the toys, though, I think if they're all your toys, they should go with you. They shouldn't be in the surrounding area of your sister if she's going to destroy them.
Yeah.
She should be able to have her own toys that if she destroys, they're hers, not yours. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Along with this, I am expected to take care of her and drop everything I do for her. Oh.
Wait, how old is she compared to her sister?
Her sister, well, she was 6 when her sister was born, so she's like 6 years older.
So she's 6 years older and she's 12. So she's 18?
No, now it says the last thing that she gave was that she was 14 when her sister destroyed her Mac. So she's not 12. Well, she's older now.
Yeah, she's older now.
Okay,
she was 14 when her sister destroyed her Mac.
So her sister was 8.
Her sister was 8. She's severely autistic.
Why was the Mac out in the open?
Yeah.
Unless it was more of something where it's like you were working on it and your sister came over and like grabbed it and threw it on the ground. I want to know
more about this Mac situation.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Because there's a lot of accusatory things going on here and not a lot of taking responsibility. So it's always important to look at both sides of the story, although it's coming from her perspective.
Yeah.
It does seem like there are other sides in different viewpoints.
Okay. Along with this, I'm expected to take care of her and drop everything I do for her. I can never make plans with friends because my parents expect me to be there if they need me to take care of her. Even when I do somehow get time to myself, I'm required to leave if they need me. If I do not, then I am punished. The recent example is when I went to see the new Spider-Man movie and was grounded because I turned my phone off in the theater. Well, first of all, you should not expect your kids to constantly take care of their siblings.
Yeah, okay. So she was
like, it gets to a point where you're like, they cannot be the parents of their siblings.
Yeah. What I'm curious about is what are the parents doing
that they can't take care of their own daughter? They can't take
care of their own daughter, especially knowing her.
Or why don't they have someone that can take care of her and not her sibling? Like someone who's trained, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
who knows how to take care of kids like that.
And I feel like,
not in a bad
especially way, when you're in the early stages of development as a child or as like an infant, as the parent, you should be able to realize that the infant needs care.
Yeah.
And especially an autistic infant, at this point, is not an infant, right?
At this point, she's like 8 or older.
Oh, well, okay. No, I take that back. But even still, like, at 8 years old, you have to realize that it's a child, and there's only so much an 18-year-old or however old she is at this point can do. She's 14 or 15. Like, she's still figuring out her own life. How is she supposed to do all of that? She can't support
another life.
She can't support another life. And to me, it sounds like the parents are taking away her childhood.
Yeah,
because they can't take care of the autistic child.
It seems as if nothing more than a slave to them, and anything
Yeah.
involving her simply overshadows me. This last week, I was chosen to give a speech at a school event. I was so excited. She spelled excited completely wrong. And my parents promised to be there, but they never showed and claimed it was because of my sister. Anytime anything like this happens, for me, they are too busy with her. I'm sorry, breaking a promise is crazy.
Can't they just bring the sister to the thing?
Guess they could, yeah.
I think it's really crazy. I just remembered from earlier. She got grounded because she turned her phone off. I mean, I guess I understand because that's the whole point of having the phone.
Yeah.
But getting grounded, like, and by
Getting
turning the
grounded
phone off,
for
does that
that is
mean
good.
like
You can,
shutting
like-
it off or putting on do not disturb? Because there's a difference.
Yeah. Because I don't completely shut off my phone if I go to the movies.
And also, that's kind of messed up about
Yeah.
the concert thing or
Yeah,
whatever. She
it's like
got
they
going on.
promised.
They promised.
Don't promise something that you can't keep.
And then they didn't show up, and then they pinned the blame on the sister. It sounds like to me the parents are the issue.
Yeah, the
it's
parents
not
are
the
the issue.
sister.
It's not the sisters at all.
And the parents are literally the reason why she doesn't like the child, or I mean, what
It's
am I saying?
because
The
of the
sister,
parents.
because the parents are making all these rules and solidifying all these things because the sister is the way she is.
Yeah.
And they're using it as an excuse
like
to not
it's
do
not
things, to justify them breaking a promise with their child, bro. What the heck? Come on, bro.
Okay. Next. Okay. I've held this in for long and I finally spilled out today. While talking about colleges with my father, he joked that I should get a degree that pays well so when they're gone I can take care of my sister. I don't know.
That's not a funny joke.
No, that's not a funny joke.
Come on, you gotta know the social cues, even, bro. It be the social cues. I understand why the daughter is autistic now because seriously, there's something wrong with the parents, bro.
I'm flabbergasted.
There's obviously a genetic disorder.
You heard that. Okay.
It makes sense. I understand it now.
That's
The
crazy.
father, bro. I'm actually upset for you. See, before I said there has to be some valid reason why you're not the a-hole, this is a valid reason, bro.
Okay, there's only a little bit left. Okay. I don't know why, but this caused me to break down. I cried and I screamed about how it's always her. I'm nothing more than a caretaker. That they always make it about her and that I'm expected to be her slave for the rest of my life. I've locked myself in my room since then, and my parents have not come out to check on me. Am I the a-hole here? No.
Okay, yeah. So, firstly, I think
No.
I think you are and you aren't. And here's why. I think you are because you're pinning the blame on your sister when she did literally nothing. All she did was exist.
I wouldn't hate my sister. I'd be very mad
I'd be
at my
upset
parents.
with my parents instead of my sister because it's not your sister's fault that she's that way.
Yeah, it's not her fault, but I mean, in the moment, if you're that young and like that's what like a normal person would be like, oh, it's my sister's fault. Like, if you're really young, you're gonna be like, oh, it's my sister's fault. Like,
Yeah,
it's not,
and that's on the parents to.
and it's on the parent. It's actually the parents' fault. But when you're young, you don't realize.
That,
You
and
think it's your sibling's fault.
And she lived her whole life being second to her sibling.
I think she's still 15 or like 14 right now.
So obviously, she's gonna have a bad taste in her mouth when she thinks about her sibling, and that's not her fault. That's the parents' fault.
No, she's going to college
for putting that in her brain, for making that.
Oh, actually, there's an update here, real quick.
Wait, read some comments first.
Wait, this kind of explains what we were just talking about. Now.
Okay. Wait.
Okay. Wow, thank you for all the support and love that you guys have given me. I've never expected this post to reach the popularity it did. Thank you all. After thinking about it for the past hours, you are right that I don't despise my sister. It's not her fault that she was born that way, the way she is. My parents came to talk to me a while after the breakdown, but I was unable to bring myself to talk to them and only cried and asked them to leave. They made arrangements with my grandfather for me to stay with him for the time being, and I'm getting ready to go to his house. Okay. My parents want to talk to me, but we have decided it's best I leave for now to have some space and time to collect myself. They better not be like, hey, so we kind of need you to come back because your sister is like, yeah, no. Anyway, so she realizes. She's like, no, I don't despise my sister. It's my parents.
Yeah, I mean, when you don't have the blame and anger towards your sister, you're not the a-hole.
So now she's like really not the a-hole because she realized.
I feel like also, if there is a grandpa involved, I feel like there's a point where you should probably notify him about all of this happening.
Yeah. Someone
But
said,
I don't know what the situation is with the phone, like with messaging and contacting people. So
someone said, I hope you go to college far away from home.
yeah, that's a very complicated situation.
Yeah.
I think that she was kind of set up by her parents to dislike her sister, which is unfortunate because it's not the sister's fault.
They could have had
They could have had a good relationship
if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's read some comments on that one though.
Oh, so this one right here.
These are perfectly legitimate and understandable feelings. You have done nothing to sign up for taking care of another human being. It's not like she's your kid, and that was wrong of your dad to joke about, because it sounds like he probably is really thinking of.
Never mind.
Because he probably is thinking about a lot. What am I saying, bro? Oh my gosh, I can't read. And that was wrong of your dad to joke about, because it sounds like he probably is really thinking along those lines. Yeah, that's not a funny joke. Be honest with your parents about how you feel. Make clear that it's insane that you're expected to be a full-time babysitter. Granted for no phone in a theater, question mark. That's effing BS. Yeah. I agree with you. My question is, how much did you discuss this with your parents? Because I know at the very end, you kind of lashed out on them, and like all the emotions came out and stuff, which is valid. I mean, obviously that's terrible, and like I would be just as upset as you are. Uh, what I think could have happened is if you, because to me it seems like that she felt this way for a long time. So like, I feel like she could have what's it called? She could have gone to her parents earlier about it, and maybe there could have been some changes there. Yeah. Even still, it's a weird situation. It's a bad situation. So last one. Am I the a-hole if I don't help? Okay, this is a short one.
Yeah, it's really short.
Okay, I guess we can just end on this short one.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the a-hole if I don't help my BF boyfriend finish his college assignment? I don't think you are, because that's cheating.
That's, first of all, that's not your.
Yeah,
That's
that's
not
not
your
your problem. Your boyfriend seems like he has some other issues.
Has some really terrible
academically.
Time management.
Let me just read this. My boyfriend decided to go back to college to get a qualification. Okay. His essay is due at midnight, and he's only about 10% done.
Why didn't he do it other days?
I spent many hours last night writing half of it for him, and now he's sad that I won't finish it off.
No.
I said if he fails, it's his fault, but wondering if I should give in otherwise. A lot of money will be wasted if he doesn't pass.
First of all, I'd take that half an essay and I'd delete it.
A lot of money will be wasted if he doesn't pass, though. I feel like he needs to understand
He needs
and
to
realize
learn a
that
lesson. That's not what you do.
It's just you can't get by that way. You can't just have things given to you.
If you think everybody's gonna write stuff for you, then no.
And I think that this is just an assumption, but I feel like it's fair to say he probably is wealthy, or he has rich parents or something. If he's able to put in a lot of money for, college, right? That's thousands of dollars. And you have the essay, and you're writing the essay and you're not prioritizing that, you're just like procrastinating it.
See, if you're getting help, that's fine. But like writing half the essay is crazy.
And also the fact that he didn't ask for help until a few hours before it was due.
Until a few hours.
I feel like as a girlfriend, you need to realize, you need to know what you want in a dude. And
that's not what you want.
And time management and being able to manage your responsibilities is a big factor, especially in college. College is one of the places. College is the place where most people find their wife, or not. I don't know about most people, but like I feel like a large percentage of people find their wife or husband or SO in college, and it's like you should be looking for qualities that you can live with for the rest of your life. If you are dating to marry, obviously I don't know if she's dating to marry, but it's kind of weird if you're in college. If you're in college and you're not dating and you're dating just to have fun. I mean, I guess sure, but then it's like, what are you gonna do after college? You're gonna be lonely forever. Like,
I believe that dating just to date is ridiculous.
Yeah,
If honestly, you're dating, date to marriage.
Your boyfriend needs to get himself in check. Maybe talk to him, be like, hey, this is not acceptable. Like, we are grown.
Like, I get if it's like he's confused and he needs help and he's like, I don't really know how to write this part, if you can just help me. But like, it went to an extent. Like, I would help them, but I wouldn't necessarily write half the essay.
Okay, this one says, you're the a-hole for writing half of it for him, but you're not the a-hole for refusing to finish it.
I agree with it.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, because that's not your problem. That's not your issue. And I mean, it's good for you to care. It's good that you care for your boyfriend and you want him to succeed, but there's only so much that you can do to help somebody else, because at the end of the day, it's them that needs to do the work and put in the stuff. It's like, think about it like this: LeBron James. Okay, I don't know where I was going with that. Okay, let me read this.
What does this have to do with LeBron?
I was gonna try to say like LeBron James went. I don't know. I've just been thinking about LeBron James for some reason. Between the two of us, hubby and I have a lot of school and certification hours. Hubby and I. This is the continuation.
I'm sorry, but that's like crazy to write out.
Yeah, that's
in
a
text.
really weird
I don't know
thing.
why, but
that's like, weird. Why does that feel almost like?
It's like, where does it say?
I feel like that's like calling your girlfriend kitten or something really weird.
Between
like
the two of us, hubby and I now.
Hubby and I, and you're talking about it in like that's his name or something. Just say my boyfriend, bro. You don't gotta be all whatever about it. Like, sure, we understand you guys are
my husband,
intimate and whatnot.
My husband, my fiance.
Yeah, and what does hubby mean? Is that husband?
It's
is that
husband
what that means?
in like a cuter sense.
Yeah, just say freaking
cuter,
significant other or my partner or something. My hubby and I have a lot of school and certification hours. Help looks like ... It
doesn't look like.
I'll both cook and clean up so you have more time to work on it. If the printer won't work, I'll make the copies at Staples for you. Sure, I'll read it for you and give feedback if you're stuck. Let's talk about it and see if that sparks an idea. Those are always help. Yeah, like helping. There's a difference between helping and doing. It's like that saying, the homeless man was broke, but the entrepreneur came to him and the dude was begging for money. This isn't the saying. This is just like the homeless dude was begging for money, but the entrepreneur came to him. And instead of giving him $100, he showed him how to make $100. Mic drop.
I know what you're talking about, but that's a couple.
Yeah, it was really bad delivery. It's okay.
That's how bad it was.
Basically, okay, the whole point of what I'm saying is that it's important to support your partner and help them, but they need to hold their own.
Wait.
And if they are not able to hold their own, if they are not able to hold their own and they need help and they need some, assisting, then be the assist for them. But if you're doing your work for them, it's like That's not gonna get you anywhere. It's gonna get to a point where it's like you're literally doing everything for them, and they're gonna just be dependent on you, and you're both gonna be in a freaking weird situation.
Wait.
It's like using photo math on your math homework, which I've done, by the way.
Me too.
Everyone has done that, so it's like.
But
And
sometimes it's also to use to help because I don't
I
understand
use it
something.
to help me most of the time, but I don't use photo math anymore because I've graduated from that. I'm on to bigger and better things. I use Fonto. I know, I'm just kidding. I use nothing because I use my brain.
Okay, guys.
Exactly. OP is the a-hole. What does that mean?
Ready? ASMR.
Whoa. What you were doing is cheating. Okay. That's cheating, and you can get like kicked out of colleges for that. I heard a story once of this person who was a student, 4.1 GPA or something at this prestigious college, and there was this, and they were in like a frat or something, and the people were not as academically minded as this individual, and they got persuaded. The individual got persuaded into writing a essay for them, and the authorities found out that he wrote the essay, and even though he was a straight A student, he had, a great reputation, a great record. He got kicked out of college, and he lost thousands of dollars.
That's crazy.
I know it's a little harsh, but still,
That's too harsh.
Still, it's a little crazy. And the person who got cheated on, or what? Who cheated? The person who cheated, they also got kicked out. So.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, but they both got kicked out.
I was about to say if those people stayed, that would have been crazy.
Still, it just goes to show, like, don't risk it. It's not worth it. Yeah.
ASMR.
I'm gonna eat one of these.
Right.
But yeah, that was everything. I think that was entertaining. That was fun. A nice change of pace, even though this is literally our second episode ever.
Actually, we created more. We just never edited.
Yeah, we have
them.
like 4, and we just never did it. So I have like 30 minutes of voice memo just saved on my phone. I'm probably gonna delete.
But now we don't have voice memo.
Yeah,
anymore.
an hour and 7 minutes of footage. I don't know if my phone can handle all of this.
You just deleted TikTok, so.
That's true. My phone can handle anything. I am like hungry right now.
You do?
I'm always hungry. I'm never not hungry.
Me too.
Keep in mind, bro. Let me tell you something. I ate 10 burritos or was it 5 burritos and 5 bowls from Chipotle for a week straight. And you would think like after that, it's like, oh, you've had a lot of Chipotle. You're probably going to be sick of it. No, I want more, dude. Like, what is wrong with me?
Chipotle makes me sick.
I am glad that Chipotle doesn't make me sick, but it'll probably be for the best because it'd be
But also
a good
the one in my
save
area
of money.
is known for food poisoning. So.
Yeah, the customer service at the one in your area is trash.
Horrible.
Bro. I saw literally this
Last
one
time I
dude
went was in
beefing.
the summer. They didn't like us. They didn't like anyone. Let's be honest.
Imagine like I pressed that and then it's like, oh, it didn't save.
No.
But I'm not worried because
Imagine if
all
it was
things
on
happen for a
pause the
reason.
entire time.
Yeah, imagine you never press record. Hydrate every day. Water is good for you. Drink like 2 gallons a day.
Except we didn't drink water.
What is it? 2 liters a day, or whatever they say. 2 liters a day, or whatever they say. I'm not gonna be good, but I'm gonna be great.
Wait. How much water should you drink per day?
A general guideline is to drink at least 8 cups, 64 ounces, of water per day.
Whoa, that's not a lot of water, dude. 8 cups of water?
Wait,
Bro, I feel like you should drink more water than that. 8 cups? This is a cup, right? A cup is less than this, right?
I think you should just end it here.
Yeah,
and
what am
have
I
it
doing?
like say that and then cut it out. And then it's the end of the video.
A cup is less than that? What are you talking about?
For the editing for this video, like while you're talking about the cup, you should say, "Oh, it's a cup, right?" And then just cut out, and that's the end of the video. Because like you end on like a note where you're still talking. You know what I'm talking about? So like, just don't put this part in.
Don't put this part in.
Mm-mm.
I'm totally putting this part in. Anything.
We
now.
should have an outro.
What should the outro be?
Okay.
Just like a compilation or something.
What?